Well, you all seem to love the Logitech G522 headphones. So what did Logitech do? They took an amazing pair of headphones and created the Logitech G Astro A20X Lightspeed. Let's get into it and see what these are all about. Hey, what's up everybody? Good to see you again. Like I said in the intro, today we're going to be taking a look at those over there, the Logitech G Astro A20Xs. These are kind of touted for the console / multi-platform gamer. And the reason is they come with this little hub and you can switch between inputs just by pressing a button on your headphones. So think of the Logitech G Astro A50Xs where they had the base station where you plugged in, all of the HDMI cables. And said this one is just USB-C. So I'm going to read you some of the stuff off of the marketing sheet they sent over just so we're all on the same page and you have all the information. At release, these are going to be $179.99 US. They're taking the comfort level of the recently released G522 headphones and then created the A20Xs that have the PlaySync audio. This really allows you to wear these for an extended period of time. I think the battery life is around 90 hours, which is pretty amazing. These have the 40mm Pro G audio drivers, which is great because it's going to deliver the precision audio that you're looking for and that clarity when you're playing games. They're very light. They say these come in under 300 grams. That's pretty awesome considering the battery life. Like I said, I think they said it's around 90 hours. They're engineered with the full bandwidth and quality that we came to know of the A50Xs. Speaking of the battery life, if you're going to go full on RGB, you're going to have about 40 hours of battery life. But if you turn off the RGB, they do say you'll get around 90 hours of battery life to really extend those gameplay settings. So you don't have to charge these as often, which is pretty awesome. The system requirements, they're going to need an Xbox Series S, Series X, or Xbox One, and an open USB port because you have to plug these into it. And the same thing, PS4, PS5, got to have available, USB port. Works with PC, Windows 10, Windows 11. These are Bluetooth capable with Bluetooth 5.3 audio. So something to note there for your phone. And then they are compatible with the Switch when it's in docked mode. It doesn't say if it's Switch 2, it just says Switch. So I'm guessing at the time of this release, unless there's going to be like a firmware update, they might not work with the Switch 2. I'm not quite sure on that. The wireless range on these is up to about 30 meters. Something I really like about Logitech when it comes to their packaging is how minimalized, they use all the packing materials. So this says the A20Xs were made with a minimum of 29% post-consumable recycled plastics. So that is pretty amazing. I like that they share that information and they, are really conscious about the type of packaging they use. So let's go ahead and switch over to the other camera. Let's do a top down and start unboxing these amazing headphones. So I'm showing you the Astro A20Xs and I'm also showing you the G522s. And the reason is when I talked about it in the intro, they really took a lot of stuff they learned off the 522s and incorporated it in making the A20Xs. So comfort, all that stuff. And as you can see, they look pretty darn similar. If we turn them maybe on their side here, we can see really just how similar they are in look. I mean, it's almost kind of identical. So the 522s, you all gave a lot of great feedback and allowed them to create these A20Xs. So let's go ahead and get the 522s out of the way and talk about the device itself here on the box. 2-system switchable headset with PlaySync audio. You can see here the headphones, and here's our little docking station or receiver to plug your devices into and does the switching. Compatible with the Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC/mobile. On the back here, it just talks about the comfort, the customizable light sync RGB, and you'll do all that within G-Hub. Bluetooth pairing controls. There's a button right here that you can push to pair with Bluetooth. And then we have our removable microphone with the mute button. Right here, we have our system for the PlaySync audio switching. And then we have our PlaySync audio button here. We have a mix amp, game chat balance button, and then a USB-C charging port. So I know earlier I was talking about a docking station. This is not a docking station. This is kind of a, let's say a hub that you're going to plug these into your consoles. So it is not a full video HDMI switch like the A50Xs are. This is just for audio. So you're going to plug one into each of your consoles, and I'll show you here in a second. And then you're going to plug in the headphones to USB-C cable for charging. And because it's not fully using a docking station like the A50Xs, and it has the Bluetooth pairing here, I would imagine we can use these to pair to a Bluetooth device without having to be near the hub here. With the A50Xs, if you recall, you could do Bluetooth, but you had to be near the kind of docking station for that to work. So with these, hopefully you'll be able to take these like on a plane or, you know, on a trip or something and still connect it to your phone and be able to utilize it. Let's go ahead and crack it open. I like that they have, you know, I've talked about these easy pull tabs here when it comes to opening the boxes. Pull that. And on the back side here, the last one. Scan here to start. It's going to give you some support information and probably going to have you, download G-Hub. We have our tissue paper. Ooh, these are gorgeous. Pull these out here. We have kind of, feels a lot like the 522s like we keep talking about, or I keep talking about here. We'll get that out of the way. And then we have a box here with our accessories and other things. Nothing else in the box, so we'll go ahead and move that aside. These do come in either white or black. Obviously, these are the white version. And let's take a look at what's in this box first. They do a great job of branding, which I really appreciate. You can see on the right side, it says that's where our I guess it'd be this side. Left side is where our little hub is, and the right side is the cables and the microphone, but we're just going to open the whole box here. And you can see that is the case. We'll leave the cables there, microphone, and this little hub is a lot smaller than I imagined it was going to be. That is amazing. This is actually going to be something that, with the size of that, will be good for those that maybe have an RV or something like that, and will allow them to, this won't take up a lot of space, but they can still hook up this to like their TV or something, and maybe not bug anybody else that's in their RV when listening to music or, or something like that. In our RV, I have a Xbox Series S, and I also like to hook up my RG Ally to the TV, and of course, not everybody wants to hear me playing Assassin's Creed or something like that. So this is might be a great opportunity to utilize this. So here we have our microphone. It does bend like a typical Astro microphone. I do like that it can be removable. Look at the size of this hub. So we're talking, if I take my cell phone here, this is a Samsung S21 Ultra. You can see it's about half the size of the cell phone. So that's pretty nice. Doesn't take up much room, and it's going to be powered, it looks like, off the USB-C from whatever device you plugged it in. On the back, it says, there's these little dip switches here. This is 1, this is 2. And it says, if you want to do a PC or a Mac, I know you can't read this, so I'm going to read it to you. It says if you have a PC or a Mac, you want to use number 1 and put the dip switch to the left. And it says PC right here on the left side of the button. And then if you want to do an Xbox, you'll put that in number 2 and have this switch to the left. It does say, Xbox there? It does say Xbox. The other two sides of the dip switch just say USB. And so this says for a PlayStation, you can use number 1 or number 2 and slide it to the right. And then for a Nintendo Switch, use number 1 or number 2 and slide it to the right. So they call this a base station. I was calling it a hub. And then we have here a button, which I'm guessing is to, if you need to reset it or pair it with the headphones, that's what you're going to do there. So that's really small. And I'm going to, assume that when we plug it in, when you switch between your devices, the light on the front will light up there for you. Headphones themselves, we have our left and our right. They do not fold flat, but that's okay. And we have an adjustable headband under here, so you can kind of see in the camera. We can pop that off, it looks like, and tighten it up if we need to. I'm not going to do that, but both sides. So we have one notch to go tighter if we needed. And this is kind of like a headband material. It is stretchy, but it'll protect your noggin from the plastic up top there. We have our on-off button. We turned it on. Obviously, you can see it popped up. I turned it off here real quick. We have our Bluetooth sync button right there. Volume control. The volume, it feels good. It's tactile. Does not push. On the right here, we have our play sync button. So we can hit this and it'll switch, different. It'll switch what audio port that is. This is for mix amp. So we can press the top one to give more stuff to game audio, and the bottom one to prioritize our, voice audio. Nothing on the front except for plugging in the microphone. And then we can just go ahead and plug that in there. Only fits in there one way. Let me go ahead and plug these in, and then we'll listen to what the microphone sounds like. Here we are on the Astro A20Xs. We're using the microphone. I've got the hub plugged into my streaming computer, and we're set up here on PC. This is not through G-Hub. At the time of this video, the version of G-Hub is not updated yet to support these, because we're recording before the official announcement. Something to note there, because I can't get through all the profiles and stuff when it comes to lighting, sound quality, etc. This is what it sounds like, just straight from the microphone, pure audio, nothing tweaked, wireless. What I can see great for these is if you're doing like a stream, maybe away from your computer, you have a laptop or something, or even a cell phone, and you're doing like a mobile stream, IRL stream, you should be able to hook these via Bluetooth to that device and, talk. If you're a cooking streamer, you could wear these while you're cooking and still be able to talk and have hopefully a great, sound quality, and be able to hear all your alerts and everything. So yeah, as I said, this is the audio straight from the headphones, no tweaks, no nothing, just straight up. There you have it. Those are the Logitech G Astro A20Xs. Pretty amazing little setup there, especially for the console gamers or those on the go that like to, switch between different audio sources. I'll put a link in the description below of where you can pick these up. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll do my best to, answer any questions. I appreciate all the support. Until next time, stay safe, have fun, and keep doing good.